All right, so we're at Farm Tech 2017. I have used up most of my voice, but I've saved just enough to talk with Tom Wolf of Sprayers101.com. Tom, welcome here.
It's great to be here, Lindsay.
Is it? I think it is. Okay.
It is.
Okay. All right.
It's great to see you again.
Well, thank
after
you.
All these years.
I know, it is quite lovely actually to get to do this. Tell me about the demo that you are doing with a unicycle here at Farm Tech.
Yeah, so we're showing people, how to solve some of the most troubling issues in spraying, which is how to get spray through a canopy.
Right.
And we're identifying with little plant canopies that we built that look like sort of common agricultural plants.
Right.
Where the spray goes in those canopies and how to get through it. And it's a live demo. We actually spray.
All right. So do you just spray water?
We just spray water.
Okay. There is some beer here. You could. That might be wasting. I don't know. All right. So, as part of the demo, how do you get spray down into a dense canopy?
So what we wanted sort of to illustrate the role of the droplet size.
Okay.
Different size droplets behave differently in a canopy. Large droplets typically travel in a straight direction, whether forward or backward, whichever way they're pointed, whichever way you're traveling. Mm-hmm. And small droplets typically kind of go with the wind and kind of move around in canopies more. So when we filter a spray cloud, which contains at the top all the different droplet sizes, by putting them through a canopy, at the bottom of that canopy we only find, usually, the smallest droplet sizes. They're the ones that make it through. The top ones get caught by the leaves, which act like little umbrellas. They just stop them cold.
Okay.
And then the deeper down we go, the smaller the droplets become in the canopy.
So what does that mean?
That means if you want to get more of your spray deeper into the canopy, you have to use a slightly finer spray.
But what does that mean for drift?
That's the problem. That is the old problem.
Problems. Yeah, I do.
So there is an alternative, and that is to use more water. More water volume is another way of just simply increasing the total number of droplets present. And so even if you don't change droplet size, if you say were to double the water volume, the number of smaller droplets that do make it through would also be doubled approximately down there. So it's a useful way of getting a little more down.
So to throw a further wrench in that, the more water is a common answer to a lot of problems. Why don't more farmers use more water?
Well, it's a productivity question, isn't it?
Yep.
It's also a weight question. So you have to haul a lot of water, it takes time, and of course, the additional weight. Most sprayers are big enough to handle larger water volumes, but it's just farmers want to use as little of it as possible.
And we can't entirely blame them, but if the end goal is efficacy, you got to do all the things to get there.
Yeah, it's worth doing, and we certainly saw last year with the lentil acres and the very vigorous vegetative growth we had with lentils. Some of my clients, their third fungicide application in lentils, they were in fact using 25 to 30 gallons per acre to get through.
Okay.
And they felt it was the right decision. It was an investment worth doing right.
Right. Now, to switch gears a little, let's talk about maybe some new work, maybe some new nozzles. Are nozzles like canola varieties?
You mean there's a lot of them and they're overpriced?
I didn't say that. I thought maybe they smelled, but actually I like the smell, so that's fine. But canola varieties, there's always the new and the best
there's
and the
always
greatest.
New. Now, there's a big difference. Nozzles are some of the best value you can get in agriculture. They're underpriced, actually. They cost about the same or less than they did 20 or 30 years ago. On adjusted dollars.
Yes, okay.
You can still get a very competent nozzle for between $5 and $10 in many cases, which is an astounding value. It's a much more sophisticated piece of plastic now. So venturis, better patterns, those kinds of things.
Okay.
And yes, there is a new nozzle this year.
Healthy Breeze.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called the Hypro 3D. It's a nozzle that is not air induced.
Okay.
It's angled, so it sprays not straight down, but either forward or backward, depending on how you install it.
Okay.
And it's quite an aggressive angle, so it'll be quite useful.
Okay. What best application for it?
We always like angles when you have a special targeting situation. So, let's say you have a vertical target like a fusarium headlight head. You want to attack that from the side, and that's where the forward angle comes in.
Yep.
On the other hand, a backward angle kind of counteracts your forward travel speed a little bit. So if you're moving this way, you spray a little bit that way, the net velocity of that spray is actually more or less stationary. So it goes deeper into the canopy as opposed to hitting a stem.
Yeah.
So it's very useful, and I think in Europe, where the nozzle originates, they alternate the nozzle. So one forward, one back. So you get a sort of a quasi double nozzle in a way.
All right. Now, sprayers101.com, fantastic resource. I highly recommend you go and see it. What sort of work can we look for there?
Well, we have a new collaboration with RealAgriculture. We filmed some
like
new.
I knew.
Yes. We filmed some new videos this spring when I was with Jason DeVoe, spray guy on Twitter, who is the originator of sprayers101.com. And we filmed 2 new episodes, and we're waiting for production on those. Hopefully in spring we'll see them. Yeah.
Wonderful. And what about new research?
We're studying the turbulent behavior of sprays from booms, studying deposition uniformity, maybe with faster travel speeds. We're trying to understand what the price is for fast travel speeds, what the benefits of a steady boom might be. And we're looking at different types of booms, different types of nozzles on there.
Okay, and who supports this kind of work?
So first of all, Sprayers 101 is sponsored by many commodity groups in Western Canada, and in Alberta, very importantly, the Alberta Wheat Growers, the Alberta Canola Producers Commission, and of course, Alberta Pulse Growers.
And apparently a motorcycle.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Anyway, you know, there's never a dull moment at Farm Tech.
No, there isn't.
Anyway.
And the commodity groups have been great to us. They make it possible for us to be here.
Yes, absolutely.
And a lot of our research dollars also come from commodity groups. For example, the deposition study I just mentioned is funded by the canola growers, across the prairies.
Yes, wonderful. Okay, thanks so much, Tom.
Great to see you again, Lindsay.
Yes,
Thank you.
You too.